Hi there, lovely Leos. This is your tarot reading for the days of April 30th through May 6th. Welcome. And I've already laid out the cards and I was studying them. And above you, it looks like the near future. That was the changing of the guard kind of energy. You have good news on the way. In the past, you enjoyed happy times. You were definitely on your path, and oh yeah, Four of Wands, happy home life, that kind of thing. And that was in your most recent past. And then the best you can hope for, it's like the search for something more meaningful. You actually were able to complete a very important task. Now you're running your inner sage. So now with that with that retrospect, what you're going to do with that information in the future as the sage. It's like at this stage in your life, you're in the final quarter. I'm not talking about football. I'm talking about, there's like a pie chart. In the first quarter, you're operating off of other people's energy. The second quarter, you're looking at running your own. You're making decisions from owning your own energy. The third quarter, you're actually using some of your own information. The last quarter is the sage. Okay. Yeah, so I heard wise words, but I am not patting myself on the back. I'm just letting you know that's more of the reading. And so right now you should be kind of looking at your message. That's where you're at. You're developing a message. It's like you're going to be speaking, you're going to be a role model for people that you normally don't see eye to eye on. So you're trying to figure out what's the best approach. And I see that you'll be able to get through. So entertainment, here's charisma, but running your inner sage. Okay. I keep hearing wise advice, so again, I'm not patting myself on the back. When people are your adversaries, the best thing to do is recognize the things that you do have in common and approach people from that standpoint. Like humanitarian. Yeah. And it looks like you'll be inspired by the right things to write and to say. So sometimes when you're out of your element, you can bring it. So fish out of water, and this is not anything new to you. It's just a different direction that you're heading through. I don't think that you need like research out of the ordinary that you don't enjoy otherwise. don't really think that you should approach this from gathering data. I really think that maybe you should approach it from who you are, not what other people are telling you that you need to do in order to win them over. You need to look at some of your role models that did that, talk to people that he wasn't on the same page with, they weren't on the same page with, and get inspired by either immersing yourself in a biography or some easy, lighthearted media. That'll send you in the right direction. How to answer that question. Other than critics be damned, change makers are always considered rocking the boat anyway, so just push through the energy with enthusiasm and honor, and candidness is kind of refreshing. If you are a candid orator, they kind of enjoy that because you're every man then. You're approachable. Yeah, so you do talk about what you have learned from your great experience, but you do it in a way that speaks to all. So instead of using the Parliament games, I was going to say parlor games, but then Parliament slipped out. So instead of using parlor games, you would talk turkey. Let them see that you're not in total agreement, but at the same time dazzle. And shine. Let them see your spirit, you know. And yeah, so I'm seeing for like a percentage of time that you'd spend 25% of your time speaking of what is your expertise, and then the rest is dazzling so that they can hear you, warming them up. And don't really be afraid. Don't be afraid of that 25%. Allow it to do its job. Meaning, don't meet them in the middle, but at the same time, you're there for a reason. And honor that. Okay, so then more generally, let me come out of that. Leos, burning the candle at both ends. You need to, I see a picture of actually working off stress by physical activity. So if you like to do a hands-on sport, then maybe that would be incredibly good for you. And don't be afraid to work with the other side, meaning ask for help. Call on experts, ask for their help, ask for their guidance. The Supreme Being wants to help you. So if you cannot hear the Supreme Being's voice for yourself, then call on those people that can clarify things more for you. And your energy, dear Leos, is regal, and it speaks for itself. It's we can either fly our lower beings or we can fly our higher beings, and I see for an important mission that it's God blessed, so you don't have to worry about that. And so maybe you should call on, I'm seeing for one particular person to call upon their past life as a sea captain. Like an admiral. So you want to, looks like you use that particular energy when you're in public speaking forums. So, it's kind of a regal energy. But then there's another past life that might be helpful. And how was that helpful? It's kind of vaudevillian. So maybe they're saying use that being in your personal life with your friends, but you haven't, really used that one with the general public. You're kind of afraid of it a little bit, and just Supreme Being saying lightheartedness. That's good. Yeah. Instead of you want to break away from the Brooks Brothers cotillion. You want to brighten it up a little bit, spice it up a little bit. See, and people have never really seen who you are. You've kind of ran a valance, and I talked about how people run valances. So you need to either take your valance out and reshine it so it's wearing a different hat. It's not so stiff. It's not so English. Because you do have an English past life. So, that being said, I think I'm going to take my own advice and now pull back and pull back my energy so you can see your answers. And thank you so much for tuning in. It's a joy working with all you lovely Leos, and blessings for the coming week. Bye-bye. Have a great one.